says this is the story of a 9-year-old child whose childhood was no less than hell, but the child did not give up and made the whole world bow at his feet. Let's see how the story begins in the year 1172, where we see the area of northwestern China which was known as Tango Kingdom at that time, which was ruled by the Tangut dynasty. Many groups of Mongolian tribes lived here whose leader was called Khan. The Khans of these tribes had a deep enmity among themselves because all of them wanted to remain in power, due to which there were frequent fights between them. Many people were killed in these fights. There were no rules and laws in the Mongol world, so they needed a supreme Khan so that all these people could live together. From here the scene shifts and we see a man whose name was Jesus, and he was a small Khan from the west side of China at this time this journey, but he had taken out a boat. His 9-year-old son Tamo was also with him. Actually, Jesus had taken out a boat to find a wife for his son. When the night came, he went to rest at his friend's place. They stop there, and when Temudgin is standing near his horse, a little girl named Bot comes to him. She asks him his name and says, "Why have you come here?" But Temudgin tells her his name and says that he has come with his father to find a wife for him. Then Bod tells him that he should marry me and leaves from there. At night, when Temudgin is sitting near his father tells him that, "I want a wife for you who is from the most powerful community." Then Temudgin tells his father that I will choose a girl for myself. After Timur's insistence, his father allows him to choose a girl from his friend's drive. Now in the morning, Timur's father makes all the girls of the strip stand in a line and looks at their feet carefully because he believed that a strong wife should marry a strong woman. Only a girl with long legs can keep her husband happy. I see each and every girl, and at last the boy finds his wife and they both get married. But even after getting married, they both could not live together for the next 5 years because it was the rule of their tribe. Now it is time for Temudgin and his father to leave from here, but their husbands have to leave. Before leaving, Timur gifts Jin Butte a necklace and tells her that he will return soon for her. From here the king sets out on a journey with Timur and his men. After walking some distance, they stop at a place to rest, but all of them were very scared because just in front of them, some distance away, people of another Khan's palace were sitting. After some fear, one of the Khan's men brings milk in a bowl for the king, which meant a message of peace, and they wanted to make peace. The king takes the bowl of milk and also sends a bowl of milk for the Khan sitting in front. The king's men ask the king to give the milk to one of his servants before drinking it himself, but the king refuses to do so because he did not want to break the trust of the Khan and drinks the milk himself. On the other hand, the Khan also drinks the milk sent by the king. Later, when they resume their journey, suddenly the king starts feeling a severe pain in his chest, due to which he falls from his horse and dies. Here we come to know that all this happened because of the milk given to him by Khan, because Khan had mixed poison in his milk. Then the king goes to his father, but all the people with him leave him alone there and start preparing to leave because there was a tradition among them in which they believed that they should follow only a strong person. Now when the king was elected by the king, he had died, so the people of the king were looking for a new king for themselves, after which the king along with his mother performs the last rites of the king to his father. All the sheep and goats that the king had, now all of them go to the king's most special soldiers, whose name was Targodai. She had kept it. Seeing this, she says that, "My son, one day you will definitely find me." There was a custom according to which before killing someone, they used to measure his height with the wheel of their chariot, and they never killed children. When Dargatai measured the height of Temudgin with the wheel of their chariot, his height turned out to be less, and Temudgin was still a child, so he goes back. But Targatai tells his mother that he will definitely come to kill Temudgin next year, and by then his height and age will also have increased. After sometime, when it was winter, there was no place for Timur to hide in China. Then he remembered his father's words that God Tangdi would definitely help them in bad times. That's why he starts going towards the secret mountain, but on the way suddenly his wing gets stuck on the snow-covered lake and he throws it in the lake. He falls in the cold water and starts drowning. He was not going to die by drowning, but then a boy of his age named Jamu brings him out of the lake and saves his life. Here Jamu and his elder brother take the culprit home with them and he gets food. Temujin thanks them for saving his life. After this, Jamu and his brother make cuts on their hands and mix their blood in milk and give that milk to Temujin. They ask Temujin to drink milk. He drinks the milk, and now they were not two but three brothers. They had made Tajim their brother. The next morning Dargatai along with his men comes here in search of Timur so that he can kill him. The people of Turbutai find Temujin and take him with them, but when they measure Timur's height with the wheel of the chariot, his height was still the same as before. Due to this they keep Temujin as a prisoner until his height increases. There was a wise man in their convoy who used to feed Timur daily in captivity and also used to apply ointment on his wounds. After some time Dargatai again measured Timur's height, but his height was still the same. At the same time it started raining here and all the people ran away to their tents. Taking advantage of this, the wise man Temujin escapes from there. Temujin Bhagat goes very far away. A heavy wooden noose was tied around his neck, but somehow he takes him to the mountain where his father had told him. There he asks for peace from God Tangdi. Suddenly Temujin sees a white wolf there immediately, after which the wooden noose tied around his neck opens up by itself and falls down. The sequence cuts from here and we see Temujin in the year 1186 who had become a young boy now, but Temujin was still running away from the people of Tuboy for many years. The people of Tarkutai were searching for Temujin and one day they find him, and after catching him they make him a prisoner again and keep him in this wooden noose in which he was kept in his childhood. Now he was kept because Taman had grown in height and age, so the chances of him doing this were very high, but Darky did not kill him because he was afraid of his life. He wanted to see Tarbatai begging, but he has to tell Tarbatai that I can happily become a man, but I will never beg for my life in front of you. Hearing this, Taratai starts torturing him and says that now I will kill you slowly by making you suffer. Here we see that the wise man was still alive and he again goes to Timur and gives him water to drink. On this day in the evening, when everyone was busy with each other, Taratai goes alone to talk to Temujin. Taking advantage of this, Temujin kills Tarbatai with the wooden stick with which he was tied and runs away from there. Now after killing Darkotai he was ready to become Khan himself. Now here he first goes to his wife whom he had married in childhood. He goes to Bot who had grown up and is very beautiful and fat and tells him that she was waiting for you for many years, and now finally both of them were together. After some fear they leave from here. Temujin goes straight to his mother and sister to meet them. His mother and sister were very happy, but one day the market-type people attacked and kidnapped Khan's mother, and then this Khan had sworn that he would definitely take revenge for his mother, and now these people had come here to kidnap Bot. Both Moat and Timur try to run away from here, but then an arrow hits Bot, due to which he falls down from his horse and those people kidnap him. Actually Market Khan wanted to make Goat his wife, and on the other hand Temujin wanted to bring back his wife Buddha, for which he alone was not enough, so he goes to his old brother Jammu Khan for help. Here Jammu was once a strip car Khan who was a very powerful driver. To help Jamaheh was ready for the fight, but he asks the warriors to wait for 1 year because he had to attack the other tribes and take them into his fold. With time 1 year also passes, and the time comes when both the brothers together attack their mother's army. With their army in the fight they kill all the people and take away the army's Khan and his army and take away their important army with them. There a boat was sitting in a tent who was pregnant. Despite this they consider it their turn to be late. This night these people consider it their victory, and Timur, along with whom many other people join, asks him to divide the army among all, out of which Temujin wants to keep only 10% of the army with himself and distribute the remaining 90% among the people there. Temujin also gives some army to the families of the killed people who had lost their lives in the fight. Then 2 people from Jammu see all this, and Timur, who joins the army, gives them money. Now they go, because Mongols had a rule from the beginning that they could choose their Khan themselves, in which even Jammu's Shaker could not do anything. But seeing that 2 people of his tribe have gone to the army, his mother has developed enmity against Temudin. They see Shomaka's men stealing their horses, then Jammu's men escape from there. In anger, Timur's men kill him by mistake, but when Jammu Kaki sees them, they come to know that one of them was Jammu's elder brother. And now as soon as Jammu Kaki comes to know about his elder brother, he is ready to kill Timur because he wanted to take revenge of his brother's life, for which Jammu joins hands with the Khans of other tribes around and forms a big army and attacks the army. Timur knew that they cannot win the war because he does not have as many soldiers as Jammu Kaki had, so he asks the women and children of his army to leave from there and asks the rest of the people to fight. In the middle of this battle, Timur is defeated with his soldiers and Jammu Kaki takes control of the army. The king takes him and his soldiers captive, who still calls him brother, but he wanted to take revenge for his elder brother's life, so he wanted to see Temujin for saving his life. After this he makes Temujin his slave and gives him to the people of some other tribe, where as punishment Temujin has to walk a long distance in the desert. After walking a long distance, these people reach a city which was ruled by the Tango dynasty. These people make Temujin sit in one place so that other people can buy him. After seeing him one day, the king of this sultanate had come to the market. Then he sees Temujin and talks to his people to buy him for a few rupees, but the king's people refuse to buy Temujin, but still he buys Temujin. After this, Temujin is kept in a cage-like room which was in the Bishan beach of the city, so that people from outside can laugh at him and have fun by making fun of him. A Buddhist monk used to come here every day to see Timur and apologize to him. One day the Buddhist monkey makes an agreement with him that if you find my wife, then I will never harm this village in future, after which the Buddhist mother goes to the desert to find the son, but the Buddhist monkey was a simple man, so he faints due to heat and dies there. Luckily the younger one finds the same necklace with the dead Buddhist mother which Temujin had given her, from which he comes to know that Temujin is still alive. After this, Moat goes to the city to find her husband, and here she finds Temujin tied in a cage. That night Bot bribes the policeman here and escapes Temujin from here, and Temujin sees that his son has grown up and Bot has another daughter too. Moat has brought Timur home. The whole family starts living happily. One day Bot tells Temujin that all Mongols are the same, they all steal and kill each other. It is a small thing, but Bot's words have a deep impact on Imogen, and he leaves his family and goes away from there. He decides that now he will unite all the tribes and create a new Mongol Raj in which there will be rules and laws for everyone. Temujin had decided that even if he has to kill someone to complete this task, he will not back off. He makes 3 rules. The first rule was that women and children will never be killed. The second rule was that the enemy will be fought till death, and the third rule was that no one will betray his Khan. From here the scene cuts and we see the year 1196, where many years ago Imogen had vowed that he will create a big army of Mars, and now he had created a big Mars by winning many tribes and joining them together. Now there was only one obstacle in his way which was stopping him from becoming the king, and that obstacle was none other than his brother Jammu. Jammuka also had a very big army, and both of them were ready to fight with their entire army in a battlefield. Here Tamjamuk wanted to understand him instead of fighting with him because he was his brother, but Jammuka was in a hurry and without thinking sent many of his soldiers for the fight, as a result of which all his soldiers were killed. After fighting for many hours, Imogen finally defeated him and captured many of his men alive along with Shomukha. Instead of making Jamukha's children soldiers, Temudgin included them in his army. Here in Timur's drive he saw this old man who had helped Timur China. He made that old man the advisor of his tribe. At night Temujin came and sat next to Jamukha and told him that, brother, this greed of making their own kingdom bigger has brought them to such a point in their lives. Today they are now forced to kill each other. Jamu tells Jamukha that if I were in your place I would kill all the soldiers of my enemy friends. From this we come to know how different were the thinking of Imogen and Jamukha. After this conversation Imogen forgives his brother Jamukha and asks him to leave from here. After this we see Buddha and he is very happy to see his children. From here the scene shifts and we see him in the year 1206, who had become the Khan of all the Mongols by this time and was named Genghis Khan, and he was also known by another name which was Genghis Khan. After this he destroyed the entire Tangut Empire and established a new empire. He left the monastery city considering it to be his mother's last wish, because Mankeen had told his uncle that if I find your wife and tell your elder brother, then you will not destroy this monastery city. And later this monastery city became the founder of the Mongol Empire, an empire which was one of the biggest empires in history.